let this breathe.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now rocking with the best. Since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. And we got a good one today, y'all. We have a good one today, y'all. We are breaking down ESPN's way too early top 25. We about 5 weeks and 5 days into actual real basketball. And it's time to start doing those prognostications. It's time to start doing those predictions. It's time to start forecasting how we think this women's basketball team is going to be. But before we jump into that, I want to thank everyone for subscribing to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. If you have not subscribed to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, do so right now. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It helps this process grow. Helps it grow. Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. Follow me on Instagram at Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, and wherever you get your podcasts. Now, with this whole way too early top 25, some of it I agree with, some of it I disagree with. I will say this, most of it I agree with. Most of it I agree with. And there are a lot of things that ESPN puts out that I don't care, I care less about. But this top 25 is pretty good. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie. Now, if they would have started out by saying some mess like some other team was number one other than South Carolina, there would have been a problem. I would have had an issue with the list. I would have had an issue with ESPN. I would have had an issue with life. But it didn't begin that way. The number one team in the country is none other than South Carolina. Who else is going to be? Who else is it going to be other than South Carolina starting the year number one? 38-0. Let's begin with that. National champion. Let's begin with that. One starter gone from this all-star team of talent. Let's begin with that. South Carolina returns Raven Johnson, Tahina Papau, Bree Hall, Chloe Kitts, MiLaysia Fulwiley, Tessa Johnson. So many great players on this basketball team. Added Maryam Dauda, 6'4" stretch 4. Sania Feagin, ready to step in and start. Joyce Edwards, the number 1, number 2 ranked player in the country last year in high school basketball. Maddy McDaniel, Adhel Tac. I just keep going on and on and on and on. Because this is South Carolina. This is South Carolina. So South Carolina with the three-time national champions, head coach by the Dawn Staley, is the number 1 team across the land. Number 2 team, who I said this before, the UConn should be the number 2 team in the country. They should. UConn has so much talent in this basketball team. And UConn is one of the only couple teams that can come close to matching talent for talent in terms of high-level recruits, 5-star recruits, McDonald's All-Americans, all those great things. Paige Beckers is back. Asia Fudd is back. Ashlyn Shade is back. They got a transfer coming in who can shoot the rock. They got Sarah Strong, who's number 1, number 2 ranked recruit in last year's class. KK Arnold. They have a lot of talent in this basketball team. Wonderful, legendary head coach. They're the number 2 team in the country. What's cool about basketball, what I love about women's college basketball, sometimes I don't see this in college football. Most of the time we don't. You're going to see South Carolina, number 1 team in the country, play the number 2 ranked team in the country in UConn. But that ain't it. When looking at this top 25, in particular, the top half of this top 25, South Carolina is playing about half of them About half of them. But we'll get to that. The number 3 team in this top 25, ESPN got Southern Cal. I would have probably put Texas, but I'm not mad at Southern Cal. I'm not mad. They got Juju Watkins. They got Kiki who transferred in. They got the number 1 ranked recruiting class, according to ESPN. They got a lot of pieces in Southern Cal. They are a quality top 5 team in the country. We'll see how good Southern Cal is when they get into their schedule. We'll see how Southern Cal is when they play Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a top echelon team as well. I would love for Southern Cal, and I would love for the University of South Carolina to play each other in the tournament. I would love that. So you have South Carolina, you have UConn, and now you got Southern Cal. Number 4 ranked team, according to them, is UCLA. We play UCLA in UCLA in LA. That ain't gonna be no joke. UCLA has a bomb squad. UCLA is one of the best teams in the country. And not only we playing UConn, they were playing UCLA. So it's number 2 and number 4 at their place. We got UConn at Colonial Life Arena. UCLA is bringing Lauren Betts. They have a plethora of talented players on this squad, and they're playing at home. That's going to be a tough basketball game. Texas, heard of them? Texas, they got number 5. South Carolina ain't talking nobody. We played Texas twice this year. Twice. Madison Booker, Rory Harmon. I mean, ooh. This schedule that South Carolina has this upcoming season, when you see it, like when we see it like on such and such date at such and such time, you see a little something, right? But when you actually like look at it deep, and you try to go like team for team, and then we go where they're actually going to be ranked. This schedule is crazy. It is legitimately crazy. You got Texas. You got Notre Dame. We ain't playing Notre Dame this year. They got a number 6. We got LSU. Iowa State. We got some of them. They ranked number 8. North Carolina State. We play them too. They ranked number 9. We play them in Charlotte. Duke. We got them too. They got them number 10. For whoever in the world is still scheduling these very poor teams for their scheduled schedule, I'm going to welcome you to something that is going to be actually important this year. This is lesson time from Captain Will. This is what actually is going to make sense this year. This is what makes sense. They got this thing called quadrants. Now, it's been for y'all analytics cats, quadrants been there for a minute. The men's basketball team been doing it for a while. This is the first year that the quadrant is going to be in effect for basketball. So basically it's like this right here. Rankings don't really matter. Rankings don't really matter. What matters is the net ranking in the 4 different quadrants. So it basically, out of the 360 teams in Division I basketball, they're broken up into 4 quadrants in terms of their net ranking. You play teams that are in quadrant 1, meaning they are in the upper level of basketball. You get rewarded for it. You play teams that are 3rd level or 4th level in that quadrant, you are not rewarded for it. And when I say rewarded for it, when we come to the NCAA tournament and you see some of these schedules, and we see some of these top high-level teams playing these bummy schedules, they're not going to have those higher seeds no more. They're not going to be having these gimme C's. Oh, such and such is ranked number 4 in the country, but they rank number 4 in the country because they ain't played the type of schedule that other teams have played. It's going to be less about wins and losses, and it's going to be more about playing the best competition. Because if you have a team like South Carolina playing a UConn, if Carolina loses that game, it's going to be less of a negative because Carolina actually played that game. And then you throw in where the game was played, all these different things, the average points of a victory or loss. You're rewarded for that. You're not going to be rewarded for playing somebody ranked 322nd just to keep up your undefeated season. No, not doing that stuff no more. You have to play somebody. Last season, I want to say UConn had the toughest schedule in college basketball. They had a tough schedule. And they had a multitude of injuries in the schedule. Now, Carolina always have a tough strength of schedule. Always. But you have some teams that go to the tournament, having these high rankings, having these high seeds, ain't got to go nowhere, but maybe only had a couple tough games in the season. If we're looking at this top 25, Carolina is playing UConn, Southern Cal, UCLA, Texas 2 times, Notre Dame. No, we're not playing Notre Dame. Thank the Lord. Let me start this thing back over. Let me start it back over. You get it right. So Carolina's playing UConn, UCLA, Texas 2 times. We're playing LSU. We're playing Iowa State, North Carolina State, Duke, Oklahoma, who they got 12th, Ole Miss, who they got 20th, Kentucky, who they got 23rd, and Alabama, who is 24th. That is a murderer's row of schedule. If South Carolina goes undefeated in this schedule right here, you could go ahead and book it and say that South Carolina is the best team that ever existed. Because we didn't even talk about the SEC tournament. That ain't even mentioned yet. We just talking about the regular season. Regular season, out of the top 25 teams right now, currently ranked in the way too early ESPN thing, we talking about 14 teams. Damn near. That Carolina going to play. Ladies and gentlemen, that's crazy. That is crazy. Then the SEC tournament, we're gonna see Texas or I hope we don't though, because I'm tired of playing. So like last year we played Tennessee 3 times. We're already playing Texas twice. I don't want to play them 3rd time. I don't want to do that. Probably gonna see LSU again. Maybe see Kentucky, Alabama, all these different teams. Then we go to the NCAA tournament. All conferences aren't built the same. All conferences are not built the same. All conferences have their own ups and downs. With you bringing in Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC in women's basketball, you are bringing in a situation where you are literally bringing 2 of the top 12 teams in the country into our conference. For competition, that is insane. That is amazing. That is wonderful. For followers of basketball, SEC is where you want to see play basketball. The Pac-12 has disintegrated, and they are here, they are there, they're everywhere. They're gone. Southern Cal now is in the Big Ten, and it's weird because the Big Ten has 18 teams. Make the math, because my brain ain't braining right now. It's weird to me. It's weird to me. South Carolina has an unbelievable schedule for this upcoming season. But it's an honor and a privilege to play the schedule. And then starting the season out with Michigan, Big 10 team, a Power 5 team, Power 4 team now, you want to call it, then go on North Carolina State. That's a challenge for any team. Not to mention South Carolina, who everybody's going to give their best to beat. Those are just the realities of it. Some recruiting news. We'll talk a little bit about recruiting. Amari Bowles, who I love. Amari Bowles, class 2026. Outstanding basketball player. I'm going to do a piece about Amari Bowles tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to do a piece about Amari Bowles tomorrow. Just for references, she's one of the top players in class of 2026. She's a player that can do it all. I'll get some film on her tomorrow. We'll break that down tomorrow. She came to South Carolina for a visit. It looked like it went very well. If y'all follow her on Instagram or on Twitter, she will be a key piece in the class of 2026 recruiting cycle. And I'm looking forward more so to the 2026 recruiting cycle than I am with 2025 recruiting cycle, because I don't think we're going to get much out of the cycle. Speaking of 2025 recruiting cycles, Aaliyah Chavez. Now, I say it like this right here. Aaliyah Chavez has her top 5, however you want to call it, and South Carolina still in it. From what I hear, it's between Texas Tech, Texas. I've heard that LSU is out now because I heard, and I'm saying this 100% true, but I heard that Aaliyah Chavez was asking for over $1 million in NIL money, and LSU said, "Nope, we out. NIL is crazy now. I was watching TV today and saw this little piece on Twitter and saw it, and ESPN did their thing, and quarterback from UNLV committed to play at UNLV, transferred over, and apparently he was promised like $100,000, and he came out today and said, now this is after 3 games. 3 games, he came out to say, nope, they balked at some of the promises that were made, and I ain't doing it. I'm redshirting. He's like, I'm out. Some reports say they said that he was supposed to get $100,000 and he only got $3,000. I'm not quite sure what went on. All I know is NIL is something different in 2024 because you got a team, you got UNLV, their starting quarterback said he's going to redshirt, and UNLV is doing well right now, like top 30, 32 in the AP poll. It's like, I'm done. I'm a redshirt. I ain't thinking about this team. I ain't thinking about the university. I came as a free agent to UNLV, and they got to show me the money. Pay me my money. That's what he's saying. And you don't pay me my money, I'm redshirting. I'm going to go somewhere else where I can get paid. This is a new age, y'all. This is the new age of sports. You have some of these old school coaches who ain't for it. But you got to get, this is it, y'all. You paying kids in high school, you paying kids in college, you are paying kids. That NIL, name, image, likeness stuff is real. It is real. And you got donors and fundraisers and all these great things and all these powerful universities who are writing them checks. And some of these teams are getting really good really fast. So if you're not on board with it, you better get on board because it's something extra now. And my brother and I had a great conversation talking about this NIL piece. And I was like, bro, that's what it is now. That's what it is. It's not, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't do it no more. You can't do it. You can't have the schools making billions upon billions of dollars and the kids got to ask money to take their girl out for a date. You can't do that no more. Social media has changed the game. Some of it I like, some of it I don't like. But at the end of the day, some of these kids are going places who are writing the biggest check, not necessarily to get a championship. I'm so pleased, whatever our coaching staff is selling at the University of South Carolina, because we are not getting recruits to transfer. We aren't. They ain't leaving. If it was time for players from South Carolina's team to leave to the brighter days of NIL glory, it would have been after last season. After that chip, they came back. They're going to run it back again. I love it, y'all. I love it. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. You are now, ladies and gentlemen, you're now rocking with the best. Since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man. 10 Will.